Hi everyone, and welcome to Jumpstart Your Creativity with Justine. I'm very excited to be showing you a couple of alcohol ink techniques today, as well as a really cool birthday card that you can create. And of course, you can manipulate this card with any of the dies that you may already own. So let's get started. I'm going to be working on a piece of computer paper just to save my surface a little bit while I'm working. And I'm working on Yupo paper today. This is 5x7 paper that is made for alcohol inks. Another thing that I'm going to use is this empty pen, so I use the tube so I can reuse it. And I'm going to get started. I am going to start with a little bit of Valencia alcohol ink followed by Purple Twilight. Now these here are really just last a long time. I've had these for ages, some of these inks, and I'm still haven't had an empty one yet. So don't worry too much about getting a couple of splashes on here. It's not a big deal at all. I'm also going in with a little bit of watermelon and also some of the coral. And then I'm just keep going in with a lot of the different pinks, so raspberry. And I'm just going through my wild plum here. And I am then taking the pen here and I am blowing into it, and I am just mixing around the color to get my first layer. Now you can see that my tube here rolled into my color, but it's not a big deal because I tend to usually keep playing with it until I'm satisfied. Now you can see every time that I add the blending solution, this is like a pure alcohol type of thing, it takes away some of that color and just adds a lot more interest. It also gives me a little bit more time to go ahead and blow around the colors. So I can go ahead and add that here, and I can hold my cardstock here on an angle, and then I can get some drips or different drop patterns. There's just so many things that you can do, and just keep playing along until you're completely satisfied. I just love the way with the Yupo paper that the colors blend in with each other, how they create these sort of puddles. It's almost like raindrops, and they just make such a beautiful appearance. So alcohol inks here are really just very versatile. I love the fact that you can create these really stunning backgrounds, and with the Yupo paper you're getting more of a matte background, whereas if you were to use alcohol ink cardstock, which is also available, you're going to get a glossy background. So it's completely up to you as far as the look that you want to achieve with this technique. Now I'm going to go ahead and continue adding inks here, and the reason why is I really want to saturate the paper so that when it starts to dry, it's eventually going to take on a glossy appearance. So once this ink here is extremely wet, if I were to place a piece of foil onto it right now, that ink would just smush underneath the foil. So what I'm doing is I'm just holding it up and down like this so that it'll drip and become a thinner layer. Now the reason why I'm doing this is I want it to dry fairly quickly, and I want it to dry in a way as well that is going to become it's almost like a syrupy texture. So it's that point where it's not wet anymore, but it's not completely dry either. And the reason why I want this to occur is you can actually add some foiling on top because it's going to become sticky and foil is going to attach to it. So you can see when I hold it up to the light, I have this sort of syrupy appearance. I always kind of compare it when you accidentally spill soda or something like that, and on let's say the dash of your car or something, and then it gets that sort of syrupy look. That's kind of how I like to describe it. Now my cardstock is still a little bit wet here. However, it was good enough for the most part to add the foil to it. So that's a really cool way to just add some more interest to your alcohol ink cardstock. You can see how detailed that pattern is. Now it's completely up to you what you want to do with it at this point. You can use it as an entire background for a card. You can use your dies to cut things out. It's completely up to you. So I'm going to use this balloon alphabet die here, and I'm going to die cut the word happy birthday with it. And this is just such a cool alphabet set because it's just so perfect for birthdays and then for any sort of celebratory occasions. So it's once again the balloon alphabet. I'm going to go ahead and glue these on here so that it says happy birthday, and then I'm going to go ahead and fill in the little areas in the centers of the A and the P because I don't like my letters to have those blanks in the center. All right, so now I have all of my balloons on the card, but of course at the moment they're kind of just sitting up in the air. So you can see that I added the centers to the letters, and now I'm going to grab a Copic multiliner here. This is in 0.5, I believe, is a width, and I'm just going to draw a few balloon strings here coming down into the center. It's going to be completely up to you how many you want to draw. I probably ended up drawing too many for my liking in the end. However, it's completely up to you and your artistic talent. And what's cool is even though you kind of have your image, you could still add a birthday sentiment if you wanted to, or you could just leave it as is like I chose to do. So I hope you're inspired to try an alcohol ink background. I would love to see the different sort of dyes that you would use them with you personally. I know everybody has their own ideas. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye!